Here comes our big March freeze, and it's going to impact millions in the central and eastern U.S., but we're going to see a flip back to warmth very soon. That's going to translate to a very active weather pattern that's going to move through a lot of the U.S. over the next week or two. In this video, I've got all details on the next 1 to 2 weeks of weather, so stick around with me right here.
One Nation Weather.
Thanks so much for joining me here at One Nation Weather. Check out the WeatherBell trial link in the description to get maps like the ones I use in this video. But let's go ahead and take a look at Pivotal Weather and the latest weather alerts from the National Weather Service here. In those bright blues here over a lot of the south and southeast, we have freeze watches. Those deeper blue colors as I film this video indicating freeze warnings in effect in parts of Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama likely to expand. This is as a cold blast is impacting the east. Other areas are freezing as well. It's just because the cold is really shocking this far south this time of the year that the freeze warning actually gets issued. Temperatures 10, 15, 20 degrees below average over the southeast as we head towards Monday and into Tuesday. We've got another cold shot on up there over parts of northwest Canada, and you can see how that's really going to make its way on over the Great Lakes into parts of the northeastern United States, really the entire far northern tier of the U.S. dealing with this cooler than average air as we head towards the end of this week, and this is going to mean some single digits, some teens at night. Some spots cooler than that, especially when you factor in that wind chill, so make sure you're bundling up and checking the latest forecast at weather.gov. Of course, you can subscribe to me for more updates as we get closer as well. But you can see with our temperatures here as we go towards our Monday morning of this week, Monday, March 18th, 2024, you can see temperatures in the teens, 20s, 30s over parts of a lot of the northeastern United States. It's really pretty cool all the way on down closer to the Gulf Coast, as well as temperatures at least drop into the 40s and 50s there. Monday afternoon, temperatures recovering over the southern and especially the western U.S., where we've got ridging and some record highs in the Pacific Northwest. It's not going to recover as much in the Northeast and the Great Lakes, though, for highs Monday afternoon. Look at this Tuesday morning. While it's mild and in some spots of Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, it's in the 40s. Even as far south as some of these zones where I'm drawing the X's right now on your screen into Mississippi, Alabama, North Georgia, the Carolinas, we're going to be dropping down below the freezing mark. And again, because it's kind of a sudden flash freeze here into parts of the southeast, that's why it got those watches and warnings issued by the National Weather Service. It's even colder the further north you go, of course. And then as we head towards the mid to back half of this week, the cooler air is going to be kind of hiding a little bit further north, but it's going to be pretty intense up there. We're going to see single-digit lows, even cooler with the wind chills up there in the Dakotas, Minnesota as we go towards our Wednesday morning. Of course, other areas of the north and northeast, very cold, and it's really just going to be a cold week for a lot of the U.S. So just a reminder, especially for the pipes and the plants side of this graphic here from the National Weather Service, make sure you're covering those plants and maybe keeping the hose outside turned off if you've already got it on for the spring. Now, of course, we've got precipitation to talk about as well, and early this week as we go through our Monday, we really don't have a lot going on here as we've got this colder air dipping down with a trough in the east, maybe a little bit of lake effect snow going on up there in the Great Lakes, some showers and storms in South Texas, parts of Florida, late Monday as well. But overall, it's a pretty quiet start to the week, and really even through midweek here. Wednesday morning, the only precipitation in the U.S., maybe a little snow in far northern Montana, as well as some snow kind of in the Great Lakes, and being a little bit lake enhanced there as well. Best totals will, of course, occur in parts of western New York, interior Vermont as well, getting in on some decent snow. That'll continue even as we head towards our Thursday morning in some areas. By the time we go towards our Thursday morning as well, a little bit of snow maybe trying to dive on down there out of Montana and the Dakotas before eventually sliding southeastward towards the Great Lakes region to end the week. We'll also be watching some probably general showers and thunderstorms here over parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, South Texas as well, getting in on some of that activity late Wednesday night and into our Thursday. Look at this as we go towards our late Thursday. You can see some pretty hefty snow up there from Minnesota, Wisconsin, watching some showers and storms further towards the south central lower Mississippi Valley region at the same time. But again, this is not a compact or very complex system. There's just a couple little pieces really working along their respective jet streams, and you can see by the time we go towards our Friday morning, this is just one model, the European model, showing some rain over a lot of the southeast, especially Florida, having to watch the storm potential there as well, maybe some severe storms out of the system there. Really looks like a broken piece of energy, though, kind of lingering off the southeast coast there with the rainfall off the Carolina coast as we go towards our Saturday into our Sunday. Notice by the time we're getting towards our Sunday afternoon, by the time this low is trying to head on up into the northeast and maybe produce snowfall along places like Boston, New York City, we get those warmer, there's red lines to kind of lift northward, and it's a little bit too late as that low is too slow. Now, looking at the GFS model for similarities and differences, you can see pretty much similar deal as we go late Thursday, some snow in the upper Midwest, some showers and storms through parts of the South Central. What we notice immediately out of the GFS is as we go through our Friday, this is a bigger, more expansive system over a lot of the southeast. Most areas not getting missed, even Tennessee, Kentucky getting in on some rainfall out of this. And there's a little bit of that snow moving through the Great Lakes, but remember the Euro shows that dissipating morning. Since the GFS has this low kind of, by the time we go already towards our Saturday morning, this is the exact low placement that the Euro had by Sunday morning. So that's going to allow that colder air to kind of meet up with this low and potentially produce some snow up there, at least in the interior Northeast, maybe even towards southern New England. So it's kind of worthy of watching this system for the impacts it can bring, as models are in kind of disagreement there. But these ensembles here, these are a bunch of different model members surrounding the European, collecting into these ensembles here, showing that northern end snowfall up there Thursday, southern end showers and storms. Notice how that persists into parts of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, it looks like, through the day Friday. So I think if you're in the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, it's a pretty safe bet to say you're going to be seeing probably some showers and storms, especially the further south you go, as we head towards the end of this work week here. As we go towards our Saturday, somewhere off the southeast coast, whether that's just off Florida or just off the mid-Atlantic coastline, we'll have that low. And again, that low placement is really going to determine what happens right there. If those blue lines are still in place, meaning that we have that cooler air in place, we could see a little snow moving through parts of New England. And again, that's with that faster GFS model scenario that we had shown just about a minute ago. But in terms of your 2-day snowfall, out of that little initial band that makes its way over the upper Midwest, parts of the plains, and then eventually on over towards the Great Lakes as well, if I'm anybody in this area, I would not be focusing on exact placement of that blue color, but you can at least see what the blue color is indicating. Say 2, 3, 4 inches of snowfall looking to be in that very thin area there, which looks to go somewhere from Montana all the way to the Great Lakes. Now, in terms of your 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, as we head from Saturday the 23rd through Wednesday the 27th of March here, it's looking like it's going to be an above average precipitation time for pretty much the entire United States. You can see those green colors, especially in the Southwest, the Great Lakes, indicating that the Climate Prediction Center does think that above average precipitation will be impacting most people except for South Texas, which you saw indicated by those kind of paler yellow colors there. And then as we head into the eastern United States in that same time frame, looking above average in the temperature department as some ridging tries to build back northward, cooler than average in the northwest. And this is what could set up that storm system that I was hinting at in our thumbnail here that said not good and was kind of pointing at that moisture moving back northward. Look at this. This is your European ensembles, a collection of a bunch of model members here, really showing you that you've got about a 50 to 70% chance already 7, 8, 9 days out from this event, showing that around Monday, March 25th, we could have a low pressure system exiting parts of the Four Corners, moving into parts of the South Central Plains, that low heading on up into the Midwest. And again, this is just showing us where a low could be located. Not where it's going to be raining, not where it's going to be snowing, just where a low pressure system is expected to be. Of course, southerly flow would be out ahead of it in this case of the Midwest. Meanwhile, wrapping back around into the northwestern part of the low pressure system sometime again as we head towards the early part of the following week here. So about 9-10 days out. So we're looking quite a bit out. It does look like we would see some snowfall on that wraparound end. And just to kind of show you one solution that we have, this is the European model. Look at this. You can see a lot of stuff going on already Saturday, March 23rd. So about 6 days out from when I'm filming this video. Rain, snow over a lot of the Mountain West, some gusty winds as well probably. Notice some snow even into parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin. We'll also watch an ice threat that could develop on the northern end of the system as well, so it looks to be pretty dynamic. But the models have been keying in on this system from day one. The Euro continues to hint at it. We see it on the GFS model as well. That's why I'm bringing it up in this video, and it could certainly bring showers and storms, some severe along that southern end through the Central Plains and eventually maybe the Midwest, Mid-South. All those areas fair game, just looking at a broad sense early on here. And then also we could see that wraparound snow and ice into parts of the Mountain West, the far north Central Plains as well, the Dakotas, all those areas. So it's really worthy of tracking the system and keeping a very high alert with the weather pattern here, because look at this. This is your pressure out of the GFS model. Green is where you're really looking at a low pressure system. Look at this. This is a single model agreeing with ensemble members, agreeing with the Euro model that we're going to have a low exiting the Four Corners sometime the 23rd into the 24th. You can see that moving into Iowa and Missouri, just like those European ensembles, the collection of model members there had shown, into the Great Lakes, the 25th into the 26th. So it's really looking like there's high agreement. Looking at different graphics, we can see the different parts of the system. And again, there would be warmer air out ahead of it, and those reds on the backside would actually be more of a kind of a cooler end high pressure system. And you can see that here in the 8 to 14 day temperature probability outlook. This really shows the agreement the Climate Prediction Center is having with this system, bringing in that cooler air on the backside, looking to be much below average, especially over the north central United States as we head towards, again, that 24th, that 25th, and onward there, that cooler air really moving in. But again, you can see the ensembles. So now we're looking at another collection of models here surrounding the European, looking warmer than average in the Great Lakes out ahead of this system, 10, 15, 20 degrees below normal, even a little bit more than that into parts of the Mountain West. And look at how that kind of progresses into the Central Plains by the time we go behind this system, say towards March 29th. Now, what's interesting is that this system could theoretically actually weaken as it heads eastward, so it might only be strong during its kind of central U.S. part of its journey. So we'll have to see what that does. But the longer this cold air lasts in the central U.S. and there's warmer on the eastern side of it, that could mean more strong storm systems beyond just that first one. So it's really worth watching the upcoming active weather pattern. If you want to watch it with me right here at One Nation Weather, please hit that subscribe button for more consistent, accurate, and easy to understand videos. That includes what I'm producing tomorrow, which is March 18th. At the time of this video, this might already be out when you're watching this production right here. But Monday's video is going to be an April 8th eclipse preview, and we'll even try to predict the weather that could happen on it there in that video. So if you want a little bit of maybe fun trying to do that, please subscribe, and here are the credits, everyone. Have a good day.
One Nation Weather.